Have you ever loved something that could tear you apart? Something beautiful, broken, and dangerous? Welcome to Moonbound, a horror love story unlike any other. In the forgotten forests of Black Hollow, where the trees whisper ancient secrets and the moon bleeds red, a tale unfolds. A tale of a woman running from heartbreak and a creature hiding from his own humanity. This is no fairy tale. This is a curse written in blood, and tonight, it calls to you. We begin not with love, but with loss. Eva, a young woman shattered by betrayal, retreats into the shadows of Black Hollow, seeking silence, peace, anything to numb the ache in her soul. But she's not alone. Something moves in the woods, watches, waits. A creature once human, now bound by rage, regret, and something far worse, longing. On the night of the blood moon, paths cross, and what should have been a hunt becomes something far more dangerous. What happens when the predator falls in love with the prey? When the monster sees in you the face of the one he lost? And worse still, when you start to love him back? This story will pull you into the arms of a werewolf's curse and make you wonder whether surrender is salvation or damnation. Because love in this world comes with teeth. Before the moon rises and our story begins, don't forget to join the pack. Like this video, share it with the bravest soul you know. Subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss a tale that walks the line between horrors and heartbreak. Now, step into the forest. The curse is waiting. The road to Black Hollow was little more than a scar through the wilderness. Trees arched overhead like ancient sentinels, their limbs clawing at the gray sky. It was the kind of forest untouched by time or mercy. And into that silence came Eva, a lone figure in a second-hand SUV, her eyes raw from too many sleepless nights. She didn't come to the woods seeking adventure, only quiet. After the unraveling of her engagement, after months of betrayal and the final cruel confession, she needed to disappear. Black Hollow was far enough, remote enough, dangerous enough. No cell signal, no neighbors, just her and the wind. The cabin greeted her like a mausoleum, dusty, wooden, forgotten by all but the cold. It creaked when she entered as if disturbed from slumber. She lit the fireplace, unpacked her solitude, and tried to pretend the silence didn't have teeth, but something was watching. That first evening she heard it. Not a howl, but something subtler. A shift in the wind, a crack of twigs that didn't snap by themselves. A feeling under her skin, like being stared at through the veil of trees. She stood at the window, squinting into the black, the moon, casting pale light like spilled milk across the clearing. Nothing. And yet, she felt it. Eyes, hunger, memory. Eva shook it off and went to bed. But the dreams were strange. In them she ran barefoot through the forest, chased by shadows with golden eyes. When she awoke, the sheets were tangled, her heart pounding like prey. She laughed it off. Bad dreams, that's all, until she saw the claw marks. 3 deep gashes, carved into the wooden door like warnings, or signatures. They hadn't been there the night before. No broken lock, no sound of intrusion, just the mark and a faint smell on the wind. Earth, pine, and something musky. Animal, male. The storm hit that night like a punishment. Rain hammered the roof, the wind moaned like a dying thing. The power flickered and died. In the dark, Eva lit candles. Shadows danced. The silence became unbearable. Then, something slammed against the cabin wall. She screamed. Another slam, closer. She grabbed the fire poker, backing toward the hearth, heart pounding. Footsteps outside. Not human, heavier. Then the door handle began to turn. Suddenly the door burst inward, but nothing came through. Only the wind. And in the doorway stood a shape. Tall, broad, hunched, glowing eyes in the dark. Fur slick with rain, claws dripping. Werewolf. She couldn't move, couldn't scream. Her body froze. Every instinct screamed run, but her legs would not obey. The creature stared at her, breathing heavily, watching. Something flickered behind those eyes. Recognition, sorrow. Then, it turned and vanished into the night. Eva collapsed to the floor. Hours passed, or minutes. Time didn't move properly in fear. Eventually, morning came. Gray light spilled into the cabin. She expected to find death, but there were no signs of forced entry. Only muddy footprints, a single claw left on the floor like a relic. And, strangest of all, her door was closed again, as if the beast had changed its mind, as if it came for her and spared her. He should have killed her, but he didn't. Why? Perhaps because beneath the fur and fury something remembered her face. Not her precisely, but someone she resembled. Someone who once spoke his name before the curse took hold. In her eyes, he saw a mirror to the past, and in his silence, she saw a ghost. Eva should have left. The claw marks, the scent of something wild lingering on her skin, the shape in the doorway. Everything screamed run, but something tethered her. A feeling, strange and inexplicable. Not fear, not quite. Curiosity. Each day after the storm, she wandered deeper into the forest, drawn by a whisper that lived beneath her rational mind. She walked where the path disappeared, where the moss muffled her footsteps, where time itself seemed to bend. And that's when she found it, a mansion, half buried in ivy and rot, cradled in the bones of forgotten trees, stone walls cracked with age, windows like blind eyes. The iron gate creaked open as if it had been waiting. Inside, silence, thick and reverent. The mansion was a ruin of beauty. Broken chandeliers, wilted roses, dust motes catching golden rays through shattered glass. And yet, something about it felt lived in. On the walls, faded portraits. A man with dark eyes and solemn features. Always the same face, again and again, centuries old. In one painting, he stood beside a woman with pale hair and sad eyes. Eva stared at her for a long time. There was something haunting in the resemblance. She heard footsteps. Spinning, she raised her flashlight, only to find him, Lucien, not the beast, not the wolf, but a man, tall, barefoot, shirt open, skin scarred, hair dark and tousled, eyes the same, golden, flickering, almost inhuman, but human enough. "You shouldn't be here," he said, his voice like smoke wrapped in velvet. "I could say the same," she answered. He studied her, as if unsure whether she was real. "You came to the woods for solitude and found me instead." Eva tightened her grip on the flashlight. "What are you?" He didn't answer right away. Instead, he turned, leading her deeper into the house, past old books, dried herbs, runes carved into the walls. "A man, once," he said finally. "Now, something else." Lucien's story spilled like blood on snow. Centuries ago, he loved a woman beyond reason, but she loved another, and when she betrayed him, he begged the forest for vengeance. The forest answered with a curse. "It was a witch's forest," Lucien said, sitting beside the hearth. "She cursed me with the moon, said I'd become the beast my love had made of me, that I would wear fangs every time I remembered her, every time I loved again." Eva looked into his eyes. "And you've been alone ever since?" "No," he said. "I've been alone, but I haven't been still." That night, she returned to her cabin shaken but not afraid. Somehow, Lucien didn't terrify her. He fascinated her. That was more dangerous. The wolf came back, night after night, always, near, watching from the tree line, eyes glowing through the mist, but he never crossed the threshold again, never attacked. Once she stepped outside, stared into those golden eyes, and he stepped back, as if afraid of her. Each morning, she found something left behind. A flower, a deer pelt. Once, a carved, wooden figure of a woman that looked just like her. He was trying to remember, or trying not to forget. Love, when forbidden, grows like ivy in the dark, twisting, clinging, cracking through stone. Eva began to feel it, a longing, not just for touch, but for understanding. On a rare cloudless morning, she found Lucien on the edge of the clearing, shirtless, painting something with red pigment on the mansion's outer wall. Symbols, protection, warnings. "You think you're protecting me?" she said, stepping beside him. "I know I am," he growled, not turning. "Then why do I feel like I'm already yours?" He finally looked at her, and in his silence she felt it. Not possession, not hunger, recognition. "I see her in you," he whispered. "The one who cursed me, But I feel something else. Something real. Eva touched his hand. It trembled. For a moment he let it stay. But love in this forest is not a gift, it is a trigger. And as the blood moon rose on the horizon, the curse stirred, waiting. The blood moon rose, vast, swollen, unnatural. A second sun red as sin, spilling its curse across the forest. The trees seemed to recoil. The wind grew silent, even the shadows held their breath. And Lucien was gone. Eva stood alone on the mansion steps, heart tight in her chest. She had felt the shift, the weight in the air. Something inside him had cracked, and the wolf was coming. Not the one who watched her from the trees. The other one. The real one. The monster he had tried to bury. She found him near the altar, deep in the woods, bare-chested, shaking, his veins blackened like poison. His eyes were no longer golden. They were pitch, two wells of grief and rage. "You shouldn't have come," he hissed, voice warping. "I had to," she said. "You left without—" "There's no time, Eva." She stepped closer. He backed away. "I warned you," he whispered. "If I feel love again and it isn't returned freely, the curse finishes what it started. I become what I was always meant to be, forever." He fell to his knees. His hands gripped his skull. Bones shifted beneath skin. Something was happening. Fast, violent, final. "You don't understand," she said, trembling. "I do feel something, I just don't say it unless you mean it," he growled, eyes flickering. "Because if you do, and it's a lie, you'll kill what's left of me." The forest remembered. The blood moon pulsed, and with it the curse awakened in full. Lucien screamed, his body contorted. Bones snapped like dry branches. Fur erupted through his skin, matted with blood. His face lengthened into a snout. Fingers stretched into claws. Clothes tore, muscles thickened. His howl pierced the sky, raw and agonized. Eva stumbled back, crying, but not from fear, from heartbreak. This wasn't a beast. It was him, the man who gave her pieces of himself when she had nothing left, the one who listened, who watched over her, who never touched her without permission, the one she might have loved. Too late. He rose, towering, monstrous, a black-furred nightmare under a crimson moon. But his eyes, they weren't empty. They were pleading. "Lucien," she whispered. He roared, shaking the trees, clawing at the earth. She stepped forward, her voice cracked. "I'm not afraid of you." The beast snarled, took a step closer. She placed her hand on his chest. "I should be, but I'm not." His breathing slowed. The claws hovered near her throat but didn't strike. "I came here to forget love," she whispered. "But you made me remember it." The werewolf growled low, uncertain. Her hand slid to his cheek, warm, pulsing with barely restrained violence. "Lucien, I love you." Time stopped. The curse hesitated, and the forest waited for her to mean it. And she did. Tears fell from her eyes, genuine, full of mourning and wonder. Love not for a man or a beast, but for the truth of him. For all he had been, for all he had lost, for the pain he had carried alone, for the shadow she had found a mirror in. The werewolf shuddered, his breathing fractured, the glow in his eyes dimmed, and then light burst from his chest. A low moan of agony and bliss escaped him as he staggered back. His body twisted, not reversing the change but transforming into something new. Not man, not wolf. Something in between. His fur remained, but thinned, his claws shortened, his form reshaped, not monstrous but powerful. Like an ancient god reborn. Still wild, still dangerous, but no longer cursed. Lucien stood reborn in the red light, a hybrid of man and myth. She had spoken the words and meant them, but love, in cursed places, does not offer peace, only change. He collapsed, gasping. Eva cradled him, pressing her forehead to his. "You're free." He looked up at her, shaking his head. "No, not free." Her smile faded. "Transformed," he said softly. "Bound to this shape, neither man nor wolf. I will never be either again, unless," he trailed off. His gaze flickered to her throat, to the pulse that beat there. The curse had lifted, but left a door open. Eva nodded slowly. "Unless I join you," he backed away. "No, I won't damn you." She took his hand. "You didn't damn me. You saved me. Now let me save you." She leaned in, and he bit her gently, lovingly. The mark of fate. Her scream echoed through the forest, filled with fire and defiance. The blood moon witnessed everything, the hunter and the hunted, bound now not by fear, but by forbidden desire, by love's final monstrous vow. They stand together at the edge of the forest, two shadows, inhuman, one with eyes of gold, one with eyes now glowing red. She howls, he answers, and together they vanish into the trees. No longer alone, no longer afraid, only moonbound. Thank you for surviving the horrors of Moonbound, a horror love story. But remember, what you've witnessed tonight is just the beginning. The darkness you felt in Black Hollow, it doesn't vanish when the blood moon fades. It lingers in longing glances, in whispered promises, in the quiet ache of wanting something that might destroy you. Because love, real love, isn't always gentle. Sometimes it has claws, sometimes it howls. If this story stirred something inside you, if it made your heart race, your breath catch, or your soul ache, then don't leave just yet. Like this video, share it with someone who still believes in beauty hiding beneath the beast. Subscribe, and tap the bell icon, so you'll be the first to know when the next tale crawls out of the shadows. And as always, whatever you do, don't be left in the dark. Welcome to the darkness.